Good afternoon, everybody. I don't come on here often on the Instagram Live. You know, I've been spending most of my efforts trying to get Facebook love and YouTube love. I have two TikTok accounts. I haven't really ventured forth off into TikTok because I guess I'm old and TikTok kind of confuses me with all the little options and things they have on there. You may or may not see the title. I put a title on this. I think I put like Carol Bryan, Harry Belafonte, and Jerry Springer. And you know, if you're relatively new to this page, you probably just know my page. You probably just know it as the Real Beauty of Black Relationships page. It's had a couple other names, and you know, I mean, when I'm speaking here, you probably say, well, why this topic? Why are you bringing up these white folks in a conversation that's relative to black people? Okay, well, for one thing, Carol Bryan Donham. If y'all do not know or not, if you don't know Carol Bryan Donham, no, really I should say, if you don't know Emmett Till, then I guess knowing Carol Bryan Donham is kind of irrelevant in its way, because Emmett Till, back in the middle of the 20th century, he was murdered by some white supremacists, suspected white supremacists, underneath the accusation by Carol Bryan that Emmett Till had either whistled at her or touched her or affronted her. Okay, so even after years and years, you know, that I guess it's presumed that even if Emmett did whistle at her or say something to her, what have you, doing such a thing does not equivocate to him being killed, murdered, lynched. So as time went on, people were like saying, well, who's going to be charged for Emmett Till's murder? So eventually, I don't think I'm going on the freeway, buddy. This is looking ugly. I ain't trying to sit on the freeway. So eventually, it got down to, I believe it was two gentlemen charged. And I don't know whether they actually went to jail or whether they died before they served the prison sentence or whatever. But Carol Bryan was the only one that was still living, and it was presumed that since those other men were charged, that she should be charged as well, because after all, it was her who made the initial accusation against Emmett that caused for Emmett to be hunted down and forcibly taken away from his uncle's house. But I'm not really trying to focus too much on the historical aspect of it. Really, I'm trying to bring the relevance to black people of today. You know, like I think last year this time, if around this time, they were like trying to go to, I think a group of organized folks were going to trying to find Miss Bryan's house in order to protest and get her arrested. And in my mind, I was like saying, this woman is 80-something years old, and if she hasn't been charged as of yet, y'all might as well go and let her die on out and chalk it up to the game. So here we come to today. You know, it was a whole bunch of protests, a little bit of media, and you know, and things of that nature. But then nothing. They never sent the police to the house and picked her up. So at the end of the day, she died peaceably. I imagine peaceably. I guess as peacefully as you can die from what she died of, old age, cancer, whatever. You know, whatever. So in my mind, it's like, well, yeah, we did all this fussing and stuff about her. Well, I should say we, because I was like saying, go and let that old woman get in the ground, wait and get in the ground on her own. But so now she gone. So is there a celebration something supposed to be going on about in regards to that? What constructive benefit did it have for us? But that's just one relation to the three people I'm speaking of's death. Now, I actually didn't even know. I mean, I guess I should have known because they brought up, you know, whenever you see a lot of posts about a certain person, I guess of the generation, the baby boomer generation, you know, a somewhat historical figure, like a Harry Belafonte. I mean, I actually was confused on whether he was still living or past as of yet myself, because when I was seeing the post, I was like saying, well, you know, I deduced, well, maybe I thought the man was already dead, but he died. And, you know, lo and behold, I found out today that Jerry Springer has passed away. So, and I'm hearing rumblings, you know, in the internet world, because, you know, like a lot of the times we don't hear, when we type our emotions, we type our feelings, you know, what is aggravating us or what is bothering us, you know, I mean, and I guess we do it in the name of making ourselves feel better or expressing ourselves, you know, for whatever psychological or spiritual benefit that may be. But now the argument that I'm hearing the whispers of, is that why is Jerry Springer getting more accolades than Harry Belafonte? Harry Belafonte is this and this and this and this and this and this, while Jerry Springer was this and this and this and this. One thing you have to consider, I hate to say it, to American culture, and we're all talking, when we get on the social media shit, we pretty much talk about pop culture. To American pop culture, Jerry Springer was more popular, more relevant to this culture than Harry Belafonte. Because if I recall, you know, we had the one moment where Harry Belafonte dared criticize Sean Carter, Mr. Jay-Z, and Mrs. Beyonce Knowles Carter in regards to their social contributions to civil rights efforts and the constructive growth and benefit of black people. What is this truck doing? Of black people. And then Jay-Z, I think Jay-Z was even at the time they were saying brashly bold and disrespectful enough to diss Harry Belafonte in one of his raps. So I was like, well, all right. So at the time, you had a certain section of the black you had a certain generation of black people. I guess you could say the youngsters, the Beyonce age ones, the millennials, and, you know, Z's or whatever. They were like us, saying, well, you know, F Harry Belafonte, blah blah blah. So it's like, well, now we have it today. How can you expect these same people who were like, okay, the rapper Jay-Z, threw shots at Harry Belafonte because Harry Belafonte dared criticize our favorite rapping ass billionaire, you know, and for the benefit, you know, given the benefit of the doubt, you know, yeah, he raps about entrepreneurship, but at the end of the day, you know, his resume is, as he's presented it, is, I used to sell dope and I transferred my dope sales into a music career, and on up and on up. And I mean, it's a glorious hustle story, but you got to understand that even during those processes of coming up, there are casualties that you leave behind along your pathway to success. And Mr. Belafonte, I'm sure he left some casualties along his way. When you start hearing, reading, listening, or getting a dose of some of the history of some of these famous, you know, like let's say a Cicely Tyson, these famous black folks, you start seeing things like, start hearing things about them that, you know, that would kind of like ruin your human, your hero image of them. And that's why it's very important to be very careful in regards to who you place your reverence into. And really, you shouldn't place reverence into anybody, into any man or mortal man in itself. You know, that's idol worship. Celebrity idol worship is what it's referred to. So Harry Belafonte is passed, and when, you know, Jerry Springer, you know, that why they talking about Jerry Springer so much? They ain't saying nothing about Harry Belafonte. Man, niggas don't be talking about Harry Belafonte in 2023. Ain't nobody really talking now. We can go around and make believe and put on this coat like we give a damn about Harry Belafonte passing. When when for the most part most of them wasn't thinking about Harry Belafonte or any of the other civil rights activists. Okay, Mr. Harry Belafonte, he donated money to the cause, to Martin Luther King and all this, that, and the third. And it's not to be dismissive of that. I guess for some people, that donation proved to have constructive results. Man, there's so many cars. Have proved to have constructive results for I guess for his cause, because I guess you say that the civil rights legislation passed where desegregation, now you could either at the white man's counter, you can go to the school with the white children and little black boys and little white girls and all this, that, and the third, that is coming to fruition. But yet and still, we are still considered at the least, let's call it what it is. We at the bottom of the barrel still. But yet and still we concerned about, they talking about Jerry and they not talking about Harry. Really? When you think about this, let's talk about the cultural impact that the Jerry Springer show had. When we talk about the sexual gender identification, things like that, it was Jerry Springer back in the day when they used to have those, I guess, those reveal shows, those shocking reveal shows where, it'll be a cat going up. I guess you could, I'm gonna stick to black folks, 'cause I'm talking about black folks. It'll be the young black boy up there. He found him he found him a beautiful girlfriend, and this, that, and the third. And, they never had sex before, but they've done other things, and this, that, and the third. So then Jerry Springer comes on. Well, Jerry Springer. Hold on. You know how them shows start off. Usually they bring the girlfriend who is actually a male on, and the girlfriend who is actually a male reveals her secret, and then out comes the boyfriend who shows how much he likes and adores her, and this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden, surprise, she has a ding-a-ling. And that was sensational TV. And at one time, if you were privy to watch the old episodes of Jerry Springer, you should see hands being thrown. When Steve wasn't nothing but a security, when Steve Wilkes wasn't nothing but a security guard, dang. So not only that, I don't even remember. Did Jerry Springer ever do paternity episodes and things like that? But he definitely done a lot of them. You got caught cheating, or just all manners of social dysfunction amongst people. But once again, I speak about the black folks, and this show was centered in Chicago. I believe it was the location they shot that show up here somewhere. So, and then Jerry used to have the pimps on there. Jerry used to have the prostitutes on there, the strippers. It was a full-fledged adult circus. So, okay, don't you see how I can just go on and on about Jerry Springer, but I can say, well, Harry Belafonte and Dorothy Dandridge was in a movie together, and Harry Belly had that song, that one song he used to sing. What's that song? I forgot. I think it's a Daylight Dawn. Did Harry Belafonte sing that? I'm sure he may have sung that one time, one particular time, but whatever. So you see, I'm glad. And Jerry Springer had the court. He went off and decided to do a court show, and once he moved away from that, and then it's like, well, you think about this. He also fed Steve Wilkos. He put Steve Wilkos on. He used to be a politician, and this is not to make any pedestalize Jerry Springer over Harry Belafonte and definitely not Carolyn Bryant. It is like, well, okay, y'all have these feelings and things, that y'all have these long drawn out discussions about these people, and you know, I mean, like I was talking about last year, y'all want to carry that old woman to go to jail. That old woman wouldn't have lasted a week in jail, evidently. Clearly, she wouldn't have lasted about a week to a month in a jail cell. So, that bit of indirect revenge or retaliation you think you might have gotten for seeing her go to jail, and that's what killed me, man. And I'm not saying, well, don't go and do anything that would be irresponsibly violent and, you know, to mistreat anyone. I just get to the point where I don't understand. Well, if it's something that's done wrong to the black person, the black person feels victimized or disrespected. They don't necessarily go to well, I guess they don't have a pool of other black people, of powerful and strong black people they can go to in order to try to figure out, well, what is the next step? What shall we do to deal with this situation and circumstance that we have found ourselves in the midst of being confronted with? How do we deal with this outrage? What steps can we take? What steps can we take? What we have to do instead is we have to go to, you know, the same group of people in which we most of the time find members of their group doing the injustice towards us. So basically what I'm saying is, you know, whenever we have issues with the white man, or even the Asian man, or even the Mexican man, any other man, we got to go to them people. We had to go to them people to find out what it is, what solutions, what y'all gonna do to punish these people for messing with the poor African American nigger folk. So yeah, Carolyn Bryan, Harry Belafonte, and Jerry Springer. Rest well to y'all, to all of them. And whatever, however reverence and love that you may have for them, don't let my words be the words to change your mind about them. Don't feel upset or angry at me because I feel the way I feel. This is my opinion. These are my beliefs. So my opinion and my beliefs are mine to hold, and for you to dismiss if you choose. But at the end of the day, man, what is we gonna do? We can tell all these stories about, they'll be on the news eventually. Don't be sad. There'll be some news report or some editorial that will talk about the greatness that was of Harry Belafonte, and we can all reminisce and talk about the bad old days when there was lynchings and this, that, and the third, as if things have necessarily changed from then to now, to some degree. You know, even though you clock in, and you know you might have a lunch break and a cigarette break, you're still on the plantation, because as long as you want to live on this land, you're gonna have to pay for where you live in. Unless you are underneath the government teat, you know, you might be one of those individuals who might have some type of form of government assistance. But at the end of the day, like I say, you still got to go back to them people. So don't be upset. Don't be upset that Carolyn Bryan died before she went to court and ended up, and ultimately, I guess, maybe or maybe not, ended up in jail for falsely accusing Emmett Till of whistling at her, that led to the point of his untimely death. And don't be mad because it might be a certain group of people or certain media outlets that are lauding Jerry Springer more than they are lauding Harry Belafonte. If you wanted to do that, you know, why not go to your own media? Oh, that's right, we don't have our own media. Whatever media we have is generally somehow affected by the oppressor class. But I'm at my destination, man. I just want to come on and mess with the Instagram and see what is on. Let me see what I see my man Crow out there. Who else out there? Just Cam. And there's my guy Cyril. Cyril. I think that's Cyril Van Landingham. Peace and love to y'all, man. I'm gonna come and mess with it. Like I said, I'm just shuffling my way around. I'm on this internet thing, you know, for expression, just like you all. But I also would like to get a little monetization. You know, there's a lot of money to be made in the internet world. I mean, think of it like this: everything else is AI is taking over everything. So why not learn how to manipulate and operate AI? Peace and love. How do you end this? How do you end it? I see. Peace and love.